Hello, crypto world. Welcome to the Chart Historian. My name is Justin, and on this channel, I delve deep into crypto charts, exploring chart structures, fractals, and patterns. In this video, I'm going to talk about Casper. I'm going to discuss what is taking place on the Casper chart and what we should expect in the coming days. So Casper has been in a downward trend, as we talked about in the previous Casper video. So it is now moving up, and the question is, what is taking place right here? What is going on? What does this mean? Is this part of the structure? Is it doing something different? Well, to answer that question, I would like to give some historical context as to what this structure is following. So I'm going to go back to the very beginning, because it is at the very beginning that we are pulling the fractals that Casper is currently following. Okay, so here we are back at the very beginning of the Casper chart. Now, if you have not watched any of my previous Casper videos, Casper has a macro repetitive structure. So what that means is Casper's chart repeats. I'm at the very beginning on a very small time frame. This is a 1 hour time frame, and it's very important to be in a small time frame on this Casper chart, because in this area here, Casper repeats the same structure twice. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. So in the beginning, there is a move up or a bull run. It then declines. It then does this sideways range-bound time before the next bull run. So it does the same thing again. The bull run, the decline, a sideways range-bound time, and then the next bull run. This continues to play out, and it is currently playing out on today's Casper chart. So the current fractal that Casper is following is this one right here, which is also this one right here. So this is the original one. So here we are zoomed in. So in this one, price moves up, it drops, it then kind of goes sideways, and then it moves back up again, creating like a bowl right here. It then moves down, and then right here it does a bounce, and then after this bounce it moves sideways and then declines before entering into the next fractal. Well, over here it does a similar thing. It moves up, it drops, price goes sideways, and then moves back up again, just like it did over here, dropping, going sideways, and moving back up. It then does a bounce right here, and instead of going flat and sideways, it moves downward at a downward slope, coming to a point before entering into the next fractal. Well, it is this structure right here where it moves downward that today's Casper is following. So it's this part right here that we're concerned with. It has already accomplished this bounce and this drop, this move sideways. Today's moved up a slight angle, and then it moved up again. So all this right here has already taken place. We are now working on this part of the structure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and paste this structure, and I'm also going to adjust it for the timing, height, and depth on today's chart. Let's do that. Okay, so I have two iterations of the same fractal. So this one right here, the purple one, is basically copy and pasted. There has been nothing done to this except I've roughly played with the timing on it, the size. So we're going to use this to compare this one against. So now this one, I have adjusted it to meet the current timing, height, and depth that is taking place on today's Casper chart. So as you can see, this part right here is this part right here. It moves up. Originally, it moved up steeper. This time, it didn't move up quite as steep. It then drops right here, so the next fractal is right here, this whole part right here. Well, that is this part right here. All I've done is matched it somewhat to today's timing. Now, this right here, this move up, is today's chart. It moved up quite a bit more. Here's the drop. So it is this part right here that has taken place since my last video, and it is my belief that this has played out on a very fast time frame, similar to what XRP has done. So we see this move up right here, which is this part right here. Originally, it had a very sharp move up, like a spike most likely. Today's chart didn't do that, and that is due to the timing, height, and depth being unique. Although the basic idea still is at play here. So this part right here, this move down, it actually moves up and then down. We see that take place here. And then now it's moving up just like here. So it is this structure right here. In my previous videos, I talked about when this structure begins to take place, we know that we are nearing the end of this fractal. So right now, as we can see, we have the move up and now it's moving down. So there might be more downward movement. We'll have to see. Again, the depth is going to be something that is original, unique. So we'll have to see how low this moves down. But the basic idea where after it moves down, it goes flat kind of and then drops. We don't know how long this will go. This could have some depth to it, some breadth up and down, and then the drop. So we'll have to see how all that plays out on today's chart, but this is a basic rough idea of what is taking place. So what happens after this structure is complete? Well, let's jump back to the original one. We enter into a bounce right here. So this bounce is much larger than this one. We see the same thing happen over here, a much larger bounce than this one right here. But after this bounce begins the bull run. So folks, we are getting close to that bull run. So once this structure completes, we'll begin on that bounce and then eventually the bull run. Well, folks, I hope this video was helpful. You know, I recommend watching some of my previous Casper videos to get the bigger picture. In some of those previous videos, I talk about the larger structure. I go into detail into all these different parts of the fractal, and you can get a good understanding of how this repetitive structure plays out. Well, I hope you found this video interesting. If you did, it'd be much appreciated if you hit that thumbs up button. You know, this is original technical analysis. You're not going to find it anywhere else. I use the macro structure, which is the centerpiece of the type of TA that I do. From that macro structure, I know which fractal to use, so I know where we are, what season we're in. As you can see, these structures play out uniquely, but the overall idea, the pattern, is copied. So you're not going to find this type of technical analysis anywhere else, which is why you should hit that subscribe button. I'll also continue to do videos on this chart as it continues to develop. One important thing, I am not a financial advisor, so none of this information here should be used as financial or investment advice. I am so glad you caught this video. I hope you catch my next one. Have a great day, and bye for now.